Hey guys, and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, so I am constantly asked about the lawsuit going on with Miss Katie and 7M. And about, I want to say 12 days ago or so, she posted a couple of videos, and she intertwined all of these different little things about her case in this video and that video. And so I managed to get all clips together, and this is what I came up with. So hopefully we get a little bit out of it. I don't know, y'all can listen in and see what you think. So let's just go ahead and get into this, okay? Let's press play.
Like, I've gone through several lawsuits, and I've never lost one, by the way. And I know what it's like where I've actually filed a motion to dismiss.
And the motion to dismiss is the one that she actually filed, and the 7M case is what I'm gathering.
One I won and one I lost, right? And the one I lost was a defamation case, and it's still ongoing.
The one I lost is a defamation case that is still ongoing. You want to hear that again? Okay, let's see.
One I won and one I lost, right? And the one I lost was a defamation case, and it's still ongoing.
You heard that just as well as I did. Yep, she confused me just a little bit, so I don't know what Miss Katie's got going on in her head. She's a little stressed.
And I'm in the final stages of it, and I'm hoping that it'll get dismissed soon, like finally adjudicated after our summary judgment. But I know that
that's what she's trying to do. She's trying her best to get it dismissed. And so far, it's not going her way.
These motions to dismiss are extremely hard to overcome when you're trying to get out of defamation.
And she knows all about defamation now, doesn't she?
And it's because judges don't like to dismiss defamation cases when an actual defamatory statement appears actionable.
Some kind of investigative journalist she is. She managed to investigate herself all the way into a lawsuit.
And if you've gone through a lawsuit, complaints can say a lot that may or may not be true. And I've been on the receiving end of really awful complaints.
Ooh, really awful. Have we read into those documents? I want to see what the complaints actually say with the list of exactly what she did. Maybe they're described to a T. Or should we go to Reddit? We all know how she likes Reddit.
That have made such vicious allegations against me that weren't true. And cases were dismissed.
Vicious. She's using some strong words now.
Think of it like this. There's a process called a summary judgment. And I just filed one in the case that I've been involved in for 3 years. 3
years. Can you imagine that? This case has been going on for 3 long years. Robert Shit is not being nice to her now, is he? She ain't even coming out and saying it's 7M.
It means you've gone through all parts of the discovery, and through the discovery process, you've determined that the other side doesn't have the evidence that they need.
She is comparing her case to this Justin, Ryan, and Blake case. She has interwoven herself. She really has. It is just awful. It is pathetic. She tells her commenters all the time that she's been through it. She knows how it works. She knows what's going to come next. And she will tell them, I told you, I told you, I told you. I'm sorry. This is one case where I don't want to say I told you so.
To win. And that for that reason, it should be discharged. And the summary judgment goes through like point by point on.
Point by point by point. Imagine that. She's vicious. She's terrifying. She's dangerous. She's threatening. Her mouth won't stop. She speaks facts and doesn't say opinions. We could just keep going. Why don't we create a point sheet for them? We could just keep going all day long. We know that.
What is lacking in this person's discovery and what you found, and why it won't be reasonable to go to trial, and then it can get discharged that way.
Would it be reasonable to go to trial with Miss Katie? Should it be released that way? Do you think it's worth taking Miss Katie to trial? What you think?
Summary judgment is often used when a motion to dismiss fails, and it goes to that place after the exchange of discovery.
You think it's going to fail? You think she's going to get her motion to dismiss? What do you think?
I'm an introvert, a very big introvert. And I don't live like them. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not.
You are an introvert. You don't leave your dag-blame house. You don't even leave your office, do you, Miss Katie?
I find them both incredibly average.
Average, just average. You wouldn't ever defame anyone, Miss Katie, now would you? No, ma'am, you would never do that. You would never go after their looks, their pocketbooks. You wouldn't go after their skills, like if they were being able to be a dancer or not, their acting. No, you wouldn't go after nobody like that.
I'm never someone that would ever insult people's looks.
No, no, ma'am, you wouldn't.
But neither one of them strike me as anyone other than just completely average.
Miss Katie, you need to go find a mirror, sweetie. You need a mirror really big.
She's had a ton of plastic surgery. She's had her breasts done. She's had a couple nose jobs.
Are you judging just a little bit? Judging Katie is in the room.
She's had her eyelids done. She does her lips. And I'm not against plastic surgery.
You sure about that? Because you seem like you're awful defensive.
But naturally, beauty is not her. Without all of that, she would just be Blake Brown.
Blake Brown is who she was until she changed her name, but she's still Blake Brown. She just changed it to Lively.
You know, this is a designation I have been dealing with for the last 3 years in a lawsuit that was filed against me.
Yeah, 7am, 3 years.
By Robert Shin, who was the pastor featured in the Netflix docuseries Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult. So I'm familiar with these attorney eyes only,
Yep, and he thinks you're vicious. A lot of people think you're vicious.
Layers of protective orders, because we have one in mind. But I'm also familiar with why it was requested and how they framed me as someone that was dangerous and an existential threat.
Woo! You're a threat, Miss Katie. You're dangerous, vicious, and a threat. Point by point by point by point. They're getting it down, buddy.
And someone that was going to dox and harass. And they accused me of harassing and putting their lives in danger too. So I've been...
Do we even need to say a word? I think we can stay silent on that one.
Where Justin is, I know what it's like to be sued by a narcissist. I know what it's like to be on the receiving end of a smear campaign.
See, this is supposed to be about Justin, Ryan, and Blake. Why is Robert's picture up there, Miss Katie?
I know how narcissists use and abuse the litigation process and file motions and make constant demands. And it's like a never-ending filing.
Yeah, and he ain't letting you get away with jack crap now, is he? You got a fight on your hands, Miss Katie.
Cycle of wanting more and wanting less and fighting and fighting and fighting. And then you get to discovery and they want to give you nothing. And then even when you get the protective order, they still don't comply.
This is funny.
The discovery is going to be so hard for them because even if they get what they want, they'll still find a way to not give them what they want.
Sounds like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
That's what narcissists do, in my opinion. My lawsuit will hopefully be adjudicated with a summary judgment soon. But
yeah, you hope really soon, don't you? Are you getting your way? Don't sound like it.
Miss Blake doesn't...
I'll put that in there. Miss Blake. Miss Blake. You didn't start calling her Miss Blake until I started calling you, or you heard me calling you Miss Katie. You're welcome. You don't say Mr. Ron. You don't say Mr. Justin. You say Miss Blake. You say Miss Taylor. Miss Stephanie. When there's a female, you call them Miss by their first name. You're welcome, Miss Katie. You are more than welcome, Miss Katie. That's what I'm here for.
These super high protective orders are a pain in the...
Oh, yeah, I edited it. But she was going to say a pain in the bow tie.
And I know because I'm dealing with one.
There you go. She's got a protective order. Nobody needs to do that, Miss Katie. Miss Katie's a good person. You know, she couldn't be America's sweetheart, though. I think she's a little upset about that.
Any lawyer will tell you you don't apologize for anything, period, when it comes to work, because apologizing is akin to liability.
There you go. You got a little bit of legal advice coming from Miss Katie herself.
Like, I'm just going to say I've been on the receiving end of a smear campaign, and it's hell.
Because you deserve the smear campaign, Miss Katie. Okay? All right, guys. That's the only update that I can give you. And like I said, this was about, anywhere between 12, 10, 9, 8. She just puts them here and there, and she puts I in everything, me. So that's what I have. I don't know any further updates. That's all I've been given. I heard that she missed her filing deadline, but then again, the last thing I heard was it was another thing to dismiss. I'm not for certain, but hopefully I helped just a little bit. But I want you to have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this, and hope you remember to smile today or make somebody else smile, cause it really can make a difference. Yeah, I won't lose that outro just for y'all. But get down there in that comment section for me. Oh, if you made it to this final end and you enjoyed this and you enjoy me bringing things like this to you, go hit the subscribe button. I never say that. But you know what? Over 70% of my viewers don't actually subscribe to me. You know that? And I'm not far from 2,000. I'm not far from it. But it would be kind of nice to know, what, I can get there. Kind of a personal goal. But even if I don't, I still have you. Always remember that. So y'all, make sure you have a good one for me.